All right, guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast, and we are here tonight to have some fun. We got Nico and Tennessee and Kentucky news and WNBA Draft. Let's go. It's the big
Can I please have your attention?
There's all a commotion around here.
What are you talking about?
Let them yap at you.
It's actually very exciting.
All right, guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College SportsCast. We are here to do the Big Fuss Show. What's up, Hammonds?
What's up, man?
I'm super excited about this show. I've been looking forward to this show for like 4 days.
Yeah.
There's been some stuff going on, and I've been looking forward to this show for like 4 days, and I'm not even playing. So we have a lot to get to tonight. I want to start out by saying we are part of Stadium Rant. Appreciate Stadium Rant. John, if you want to throw this up on the general chat and Slack for Stadium Rant, that would be great while I'm doing all this. If you're on Facebook with us, please help support us by either sending us stars or you can subscribe to our page. It's only 99 cents a month. It does give you your own chat, and it gives you your own subscribers page as well with us. And like I said, it is only 99 cents a month. It does help support us to continue to make these shows for you guys. So start out with that. And like I said, guys, part of Stadium Rant. We appreciate Stadium Rant. We are riding with Stadium Rant. I have had 2 articles today out about the WNBA Draft. We will get to some of that in just a few minutes. John has had 15 or so articles this month, so he's been all over this portal stuff and everything.
Well, it's been busy
and everything that's going on.
Well, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. But
what's up, JC? JC is part of Stadium Rant. We appreciate you, man, being here and helping support us. So we appreciate you, JC. All right, guys, we are going to get to some stuff here. We're going to start out with some Kentucky women's stuff that went on today. I want to start the show with Kentucky signs Liberty guard Asia Boone today. Not commits. She signed today. She will be a junior. She was a sophomore this year. At her freshman year, she was all conference freshman team as a freshman. She averaged about 10.5 points a game this year. And she's a guard. She averaged about, I think, around 3 rebounds, around 3 assists, somewhere with this Liberty team. Liberty was a team that we played in the NCAA tournament first round, and they nearly come back and beat us.
Yeah, she put together quite a resume, Brad. She led the Flames to a 26-7 record. They was 16-2 in Conference USA. I think they was 13-1 at home. So they had a really good year. They're losing a really good player. Prior to her time at Liberty, a lot of people don't know this. She's a graduate of IMG Academy. She played at IMG, one of the top high school circuits in high school. So big pickup for Coach Brooks. We've been looking for Coach Brooks to get into the portal and kind of get going. Brad.
So last night was the WNBA draft. I'm going to assume he's been kind of busy with Georgia and all that stuff.
Brad was making some jokes. He said he's been asleep, and everybody was joking, and Mike Pope was on speed because he's flying to the portal trying to find guys. So it's a busy time.
In Kenny's defense, Georgia's been, she was an invitee for the WNBA draft and everything, and she's been in New York, and he's been with her, and
it's been a busy week.
It's been a pretty busy week. So
it has.
But Asia Boone is a guard that is now signed and ready to go. And then there was another bit of news today on the girls' side, and this is a big one, John, really. Kentucky made a commitment from Georgia Tech transfer point guard Tony Morgan. She is through junior year, but she is a top 10, 12, depending on which one you look at, in the transfer portal. She is the number 3 guard in the portal. This is a big one for
it is. She's all ACC selection, Brad.
2 years.
She's pass first 2 years.
ACC.
She's a pass first point guard.
Yep.
She's the Yellow Jackets assist leader.
She's a downhill driver. She gets to the rim. That's what she's great at.
I watched her in the ACC tournament. She really put it on in the ACC tournament. She made 95 starts for Georgia Tech.
In 3 years.
She's done it all, man. She's a really good player.
She averaged like 5.6 assists a game. She averaged 13.7. She's not a lights-out three-point shooter. She's about 27, 28% three-point shooter, but she shoots well like pull-up, mid-range, which in the girls' game is still pretty relevant in the game.
Well, and the thing too, Brad, you got to find a girl that can replace Georgia Amoore.
And that's what he's trying to do here. And on top of that, Tony Morgan in ESPN Hoops Girls, which is the rankings coming out of high school. In 2022, when she come out of high school, she was number 24 on the list. She was a top 25 kid in the class. Mm-hmm. Tony Morgan was. She made the all-freshman team, ACC as a freshman. Yeah. And 2 years in a row, she has been second team all ACC.
She dropped against Stanford. I think it was Georgia Tech's last game, I think. She
had a regular season game.
She had a career high 31 points.
Yep.
This girl,
31 on Stanford. And she fooled around, John, and got a triple-double against Clemson this year.
She did. Did you see what she said in one of the captions to BBN? She said, "BBN, what's up?" I thought that was pretty neat on her. I think it was her Instagram, maybe.
We are going to get to Amoore. She did go top 10. She went number 6, Fresh.
She did. Higher than I thought she was going, to be honest.
All right. We got Bernard Green with us. He's with Stadium Rant as well. So we got some Stadium Rant guys here with us. We appreciate you. Fresh is with me and with Stadium Rant. And I'm with him as well. So,
and we got
man.
I forgot to mention, Brad. At the end of the show, we got some news to kind of tell for the future. So, wanted to kind of bring that out.
Yep. Yeah, we do. But to finish up this Tony Morgan stuff, Kenny really needed to find a replacement for Georgia Amoore. And here's the thing. She's from Georgia. She played at Georgia Tech. Kenny coached at Virginia Tech in the ACC. So he coached against this girl for a couple of years and had to go against her. So he kind of knew this girl's game and kind of used that, I think, to recruit and get her. In the beginning, LSU and Ole Miss were two teams that were mentioned with Tony Morgan when the portal first opened and when she went in. And LSU and Ole Miss are good teams, guys. So for Kenny to outduel LSU and Ole Miss to get Tony Morgan at Kentucky, it's a big deal.
Well, and to be on the other side of the spectrum here, Coach O is building a pretty big size program at Ole Miss. He's got some key additions to his.
She's tearing up the portal.
She's tearing it up. So
she's tearing up the portal.
So is Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is regrouped. She is mad, like literally.
Yeah, she's got Latin, so the top scorer in the country.
He's motivated. That's all I can tell you.
Yep. All right, guys. So we started out the show with some Kentucky girls news. We're going to move on to the WNBA draft last night. We can talk about a few other things as well, but we're going to start out, John, with Paige Buckets. She went to the Dallas Wings, the number 1 pick in the draft. I know she's one of your favorite players.
She is.
And, I think Dallas is going to have a star player. And I think Dallas, the city, is kind of starving after losing Luka Doncic to the Lakers. I think they're kind of starving to have a new star. And Paige Buckets coming in, she could fill some of that role, I think.
She's the real deal. She's been a projected number 1 pick for a while. She's 6-foot guard. She's really good on the offensive end. She can shoot the three.
She shoots like 54%. And guys, for a woman in the women's game, that's unheard of. For a guard.
She puts her teammates in positions to succeed, Brad. She's a franchise changes
from 3-point line and 54 overall as a guard.
And I think the Wings just got an unbelievable talent. Like I said, she's a franchise type talent that can change a program and an organization. And I think they couldn't have done no better than Paige Buckets. She is one. She's the real thing now. She's the real thing.
No,
now.
she was the clear-cut number 1 pick in this draft, and that's even if some players that stayed like Olivia Miles and Flau'jae Johnson and a few of them that stayed in college. Even if some of them had been in the draft, I think Paige was still the clear-cut number 1 here.
Well, and then you kind of go to Georgia Amoore. The Mystics took her 6th. And I'll be honest with you, Brad, when she was picked, I was kind of surprised because I thought she would be a little bit lower down the road.
I thought maybe she might be 8, 9, 10, something like that, to be honest with you. And I'm going to be honest with you, John. The Mystics, they had 3 of the top 6 picks. All right. They picked up Sonia Citron from Notre Dame, number 3. And then they picked up Kiki Irafin and number 4, the big girl. And then they got Georgia. Man, that is 3 killer young core.
Well, and I think, too, the Mystics, they needed some backcourt help.
They did.
They was lacking in that. And I wouldn't be shocked if she's their starting point guard.
I would not be shocked at all. Georgia is the real deal. I saw her play.
There's a couple things, Brad.
I saw her play 31 games this year. About 20 of them was up close, courtside, that kind of thing. She's the real deal, guys. Her step back.
She's electric. Offensively, she can create her own shot. There's only one little issue that I have. And you probably know what I'm getting ready to say. It's her size. Her size is she lacks.
And everybody has that issue. Matter of fact, last night Holly Rowe, she made a joke. She's interviewing all the draftees afterwards, and she made a joke. She said, "I think this is the first time ever that I've been taller than a draftee."
Well, and then you had Sarah Barker going pretty high.
She went number 9 to the Sparks. Congratulations to Sarah Ashley Barker. Seriously. And to Alabama, the women's basketball team. They had 3 girls picked last night. It's the most they ever had picked. Aaliyah Nye got picked. Zay Green got picked in the 3rd round. Aaliyah Nye was the first pick in the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to bring this up real quick. There's one that I'm really proud of. And I want to give a minute to kind of go through this and tell why I think it's great. It's Haley Van Lith, the Chicago Sky.
Yep. She
has been
11.
She has been battling mental health issues for 2 to 3 years. And if you've not heard her story, it's out there. She talked about it during the tournament. She talked about it during the Elite Eight. this story is impressive from where she came from to where she's going. She's a really good pick and roll for her development. She can be a playmaker. There's still
hope her and Angel Reese can get it back.
Well, like
track.
I said, there's some size things concerns there, and her defense. Her defense is not the greatest, but she's a winner, Brad, and she's going to get to learn
on the court
with Courtney Van Sloot. She's going to learn something.
Oh yeah,
and it's going to be fun to watch seeing Haley Van Lith and her story.
I'll give you one other. This is a late draft pick that I just want to give a quick mention to. Harmony Turner from Harvard got picked late in the third round. I'm gonna be honest with you, John. I mean, these kind of kids usually don't get picked in the WNBA. There's only there's an expansion team last night, so there's 13 teams now. There's only been 12 teams. There's only 12 spots. There's only been 144 spots.
Well, then you had Zay Green from Alabama going to the Mystics as well. She was a big pickup.
The Mystics had a fantastic draft. They also got Lucy Olson.
They did
in the second round.
They did.
They got Lucy Olson from Iowa in the second round. The Mystics had a fantastic draft. Dallas had a good draft, of course.
Ejim from Gonzaga got drafted by the Indiana Fever. She'll play with Caitlin Clark. Ejim is a really good piece to add to that team. She was really good at Gonzaga.
But you don't see too many Ivy Leaguers get drafted in the WNBA draft, so I had to give a shout out.
Well, you don't even see
Caitlin Chen, who played 4 years at Princeton, and then played an extra COVID year at UConn and won a title with Paige this year. She was drafted late in the third round.
The thing is, Brad, you don't even see that in the NBA hardly at all. So
no, you don't.
You know, it's very rare.
Not from Ivy League. No, I mean you just don't see that very often. That's for sure. All right, John, is there anything else, other notes, anything else that you want to talk about from the WNBA draft? I want to say what a pleasure it was to get to watch Georgia Amoore play up close and personal, and to be there, to interview her, to talk to her, for post-game press conferences, pre-game press conferences, all the things that I got to do this year, including last night and being on Zoom at the WNBA draft. It was just all the things that I got to do. I just want to say a huge thank you to Kentucky, to Kenny Brooks, to Cammie, and to Georgia Amoore.
Shout out Cammie Moore and the UK Athletics
Moore Williams
for letting Brad be able to do what he does. It's a lifelong dream of his, and it's a dream of mine for the men's side.
It was a huge thing.
So the men's side's a big dream of mine. Eventually, we're going to knock some doors down and we're going to get going, Brad.
All right, man. So the next thing we're going to talk about, guys, is we're going to get to some men's stuff here, and we got some stuff to talk about here, John. So today starts out the morning. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's going to be a cat. He's a lock." Blah blah blah, including KSR, 24/7 Sports guys, on 3 guys. I mean, all the way down the list.
I want to bring this up.
Lamar Wilkinson goes to Indiana. So we've got a little bit of stuff here to talk about, John.
Well, here's where it irks me. You know, you got these insiders that think they know everything, okay? They think they're inside the program. They got an eye inside the locker room, inside the office of Pope. And if you have not noticed, Brad, in the last year, Pope works in silence. There's not a lot of people that have an inside track to what Pope does, because a few of those last year commitments came out of nowhere. Lamont Butler came out of nowhere. The kid from Croatian this past season came out of nowhere. They don't let a lot of people know what's happening behind the scenes. And then you got these people that get on the internet and they say, well, did you see Pope at Keeneland? He was riding a horse with Lamar Wilkerson. Well, duh. It's on the internet. Everybody sees it.
And it was a recruiting visit. How many times has Kentucky over the years took a recruit to Keeneland in April?
I mean,
when it's open?
It's a big part.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's a big part of what Pope does is recruiting tactic. He did it with Amari Williams last year. He did it with Wilkerson. And here's another thing I want to bring up. Everybody wondering about this whole Wilkerson thing. I'm going to tell you what happened. Indiana dropped a bag, more or less, and Kentucky didn't counteroffer. And I'm going to tell you, we're good on the NIL part, but here's the problem that most Kentucky fans don't get. We're not just going to cave to bidding wars. I think there was
John, before today, we have the second highest incoming transfer portal payroll in the country. Michigan is the only school that has one more than us. We were already nearly at $8 million, 7.8 or 7.6 in payroll just for incoming transfers. That's not including the pay that we're going to pay the guys that are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That's not including them or the freshmen.
And then somebody kind of brought up Ian Jackson, okay? He plays – well, he played in North Carolina. He was a 5-star recruit, and he put his name in the portal. If you can't afford Wilkerson, you're not going to be able to afford Ian Jackson. Kentucky needs a shooter. Like most people have said, they need an elite shooter. And where do you go to? And then you got –
how about Rylan Griffin?
Well, yeah.
How about Rylan Griffin?
From Kansas. But there's a lot of talk he's going back to Alabama. But, there's still some dudes in the portal that can help this team, and you can slide them in.
How about the Cade guy from North Carolina that's in the portal? He's a shooter, 6'6", 6'7", white boy.
If you watch last season, he just did not seem. He looked out of ordinance. He just did not seem like
he played pretty good at like Belmont or somewhere 2 years before that. I forgot.
Here's another thing too. I'm upset about Wilkerson. Okay, that was a big whiff on our part. It was. I mean, we missed on him. Now everybody's going to say, "Well, we missed on 5 or 6 kids." No, we didn't. We missed on maybe 3 kids that we was really truly going after. Right. This fan base, Brad, panics
over everything
more than anybody I've ever seen.
Over everything. This fan base, John, thinks that we ought to be able to get everybody. That we ought to just be able to walk in the door, no matter who they are, where they're from, no matter what their story is, no matter what they're wanting out of this. We should just be able to convince them to show up and play basketball. And if we want 20 of them, we ought to be able to get 20 of them. Well, that's the way the fan base acts.
Well, and then you bring out the whole Jaden Quainance issue here, his recruitment. It came out of nowhere. And that's where I bring up my point at the beginning. Pope keeps pretty things tight to the vest. I wouldn't be shocked if someone commits before we know much about what's happening. I'll be honest with you.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
It comes out of left field.
John, I've got to get to something. I got to get to something here, okay? Because there's something else going on here inside of this Lamar Wilkerson recruitment. John, me and you have been talking about this since like last Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
on the phone, just me and you.
Yep.
This recruitment, and I want you to admit this recruitment went basically exactly. I broke this down last Wednesday or Thursday talking to you on the phone, and this recruitment went exactly as I predicted.
Yep, you did.
Including him canceling the Auburn and Ole Miss visits. I said he would only visit Indiana and Kentucky, and that's what he did. I also said that it would come down to either if he wanted to be the guy because he was leaning IU 2 weeks ago, or if he was going to be okay with being part of a talented team at Kentucky. Well, guess what? Guess what it come down to? The words that came out of Lamar Wilkerson's mouth after he committed was, I couldn't go to Kentucky because I couldn't be the guy.
Be another guy.
And just be another guy.
He wants to be
the exact words that I have told John for the last 5 days.
Yeah, he wants to be the show.
Is what he said.
He wants to be the show.
You can't blame the kid. This kid come from nowhere. Sam Houston State. He's getting a chance to go to a Power 4 school, Big Ten, and be the guy. In his senior year, his final year, he averaged 36 minutes a game last year. He put up 8 3-pointers a game. And Kentucky fans just automatically act like we should just be able to sell this dude on playing 18 minutes and only averaging 9 points.
Well, and I'm going to say this too. At this point last year, if you remember, we only had Perry.
This is Lamar's last year. He gets no more. So I'm sure this kid has other aspirations. He's not just thinking, well, I've got this 1 year and I'm going to be done. I guess I'm going to go get my truck driver CDL license or something. I'm sure that's not what this kid's thinking. Yeah. I'm sure this kid is thinking, if I go to Indiana and can be the star, maybe like Chaz Lanier, who went to Tennessee that we missed on last year, maybe I can be third-team All-American.
Here's where
get some attention from the NBA.
Here's where I'm at. Here's where I am at with the wing stuff. Getting a wing. I would like to add one more, Brad. Jasper Johnson is probably going to be the backup point guard as it stands with the roster as of now. And then you got Chandler, which he improved by the end of the year. You saw what he did. It would still be a pretty big jump from there to being a key piece on a championship team. If you're going into the season next year with Jasper Johnson and Colin Chandler as your backups, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jasper is good, but he's a freshman. Colin is good, but he had some hit and misses last year. You need another guy on that wing, a Kobe Bryant.
Pettiford played pretty good. Alabama, Phylon. I mean, he's going to the NBA. He was a freshman. He played pretty damn good.
Well, and I think Kentucky fans are missing the boat on some of this. This won't be the shooting team that we had a year ago. This team's going to be more athletic, more physical.
Good. You know why I say good?
Which is what we want.
We relied on it way too damn much. And to be quite honest with you, John, there were games where we put up 30 of them and we couldn't hit 5. That don't work. You know, if you can hit 12 of them every game, okay.
Well, and then you have –
but it don't work when you hit 5.
And here's the last thing I want to say as we move on to something else on the insider stuff. This whole – he's following who on Instagram is a bunch of crock of nonsense that I've ever seen. Oh, he followed Ortega Oweh. He followed Brandon Garrison. He followed
whatever.
I mean, Lord have mercy.
These dudes are friends, people. They're the same age. They probably enjoyed hanging out together. They're friends.
Yeah, I mean, that's just social media for you right there.
I mean, they're friends.
They are.
Did you follow your coworkers? Do you follow any of your coworkers or people that you?
I wish I didn't follow you sometimes.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, now let's get to this whole insider thing because, John, our fan base seems to be hooked on these. I'm going to say it. Stupid people.
Stories. That's what they are. Stories.
Who are just throwing shit on the wall. To be quite honest with you. And here's my thing. And you do some of it, okay? A lot of these people charge money behind a paywall to basically give you a bunch of hogwash.
And here's where I want to go with this. Until an announcement is posted, you should give zero thought to anything these people have to say. It's basically like
the roster looks pretty good, Joshua. I mean, he's trying to add maybe one, maybe two more pieces.
You know what Coach Rupp
looks pretty good.
You know what Coach Rupp used to say? I found this online. If I bring a boy into the Coliseum and let him look around, he is not excited and ready to come to play for Kentucky, we really do not need him here.
Yep.
That's basically
100%.
What the whole Wilkerson thing is. If you're not ready for the challenge and you're not ready to come together and be a part of a team and try to face that challenge head on, then good riddance, I guess you could say.
I want to know what your thoughts are, though, about these insiders that are charging money that all these fans pay attention to. And then when stuff like this happens, wait a second, when stuff like this happens, then everybody falls off the edge of the cliff because everybody, including John, KSR, and I'm not going to put names to KSR, but KSR charges $120 a year for you to get on these message boards.
I think it's less than that, Brad.
No, it's not. I looked at it today.
Oh, on one of them, it's $1 on something
for a week. It's $1 for a week.
Look,
and then it's $119.99 for a year.
Look,
it's $120.
They're trying to make money. I get it for their families, all that stuff.
Holy shit, John! I'm trying to make money, but I ain't out here putting out a bunch of bullshit.
I get what you're saying.
I'm just being honest.
Here's the thing, Brett. If they're not pushing something misleading, then they have nothing to sell.
I'm trying to make some money and build a brand and build something too, but I'm not out here putting out a bunch of false bullshit all the time.
Never trust anybody that says they have a source, okay? Who knows such and such was sitting down at the Wendy's eating a baked potato, or they seen Pope crawling through the window to wait. Like,
let me tell you, fans, something. If you're watching this, Mark Pope is keeping all of his stuff as close to the vest as any coach that we have ever had. Okay, he is doing this, and even the top guys in this thing, like Joe Tipton and of On3, the top guys are having trouble getting information
about
what Pope is doing. So
then to go back
these other guys that are feeding you a bunch of crap, they don't know what they're talking about. If the main guys who do it all over the country can't get information from Pope, do you think he's just passing them on to Wildcat on X and Casey, the big blue network guy that's 16? He's calling them up being like, yeah, I'm going to feed you a bunch of stuff. Here you go. This is it. I'm sure that's what's really going on.
Oh.
I mean, come the hell on, people.
Brad's in his oats tonight, y'all.
I mean, wake up. That's all I'm going to say. Wake up.
And then you have, I want to say this before we move on, Brad. You had the whole Wilkerson thing. Go back and watch the Field of 68, right? With Jeff Goodman. I think it was earlier today. I think him and Rob Doster. I think it was Rob. That's funny, Josh. Rob Doster did an interview with the kid. You could tell by the interview that this kid was not coming here. He wasn't coming here.
John, we've been talking about Wilkerson for 5 days. What have I told you? Did I tell you that he was leaning IU?
Yeah, you told me
5 days ago.
You told me.
Now, I'm just going to say, I have a paywall, guys. It's 99 cents a month. I'm trying to build it. It's 99 cents a month. Okay? That'd be $11.90 for a year. Okay? And if you want some information, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that I'm always right, but you can ask John Hammonds. He's sitting right here. 9 times out of 10, the stuff I tell you, does it happen or not?
It does.
Occasionally.
Oh, Dad just posted. He said, "Get him, Brad."
Occasionally, I'm wrong about something. I'm not going to say it never happens. Occasionally. I was wrong on the Donovan Dent stuff. I did not think he was going to go to UCLA.
I didn't either.
I thought there was some other school. I thought there was another school that could be in on it. But the UCLA thing surprised me.
You had the whole Magoon thing that kind of fell out of her lap. So that was kind of another one, really. But if we talked about this, we could talk about this.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm right all the time, but I'm going to tell you right now, these people that are charging these $6 a month, $10 a month, $12 a month, Discord and all this other crap that they're doing, and you guys are falling for it, I'm telling you, wake up.
Which, to be fair, Trilly is probably the one of the most consistent out of most of them.
Maybe for other schools, but he's sure not for Kentucky. Not right now.
Kentucky, no, not at all. No,
he's not. Not right now. He was when Calipari was here.
Are you ready to talk about Nico Iamaleave?
In just a few minutes, I am. Let's get to Owe, because Owe declared he was going to test the NBA waters today again, John. Weeks ago, did I not tell you this was going to happen?
He's going to do his due diligence. He's probably going.
And everybody's like, "Why? He should come back and blah." He's a junior. This is it. This is his time to go in to get feedback from these guys, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, they will tell him what he needs to work on for the next year, and he can focus on that, and he can get better. It's the only time he can do this. And all of a sudden, this evening, there's, again, Kentucky fans that seem to be jumping off cliffs. They can't figure out something as basic that he's going to test the NBA waters. And I don't understand people, because I knew this was going to happen in January.
Yep, I did. I knew he was going.
I mean, maybe before January, but in January, when I saw that he was going to be the leader of this team all year long, and it wasn't going to be Jackson Robinson, and it wasn't going to be Butler, and it wasn't going to be Carr, and it was going to be Owe, and he was going to lead this team, I knew he was going to go test the waters.
Yeah, he is. Good for him.
Plain and simple.
Are you ready for Nico Iamaleave?
I am, John. So
can I say my little piece before you get started?
I'm a leaving. That's what I'm going to call him.
Let me say my piece before I get started on this.
Wait a second. First of all, I got to say that there was a divorce here because I got Nico Iamaleave, or whatever his name is, and Tennessee. There was a divorce here that happened. So, all right, go ahead, John. I got 3 things I want to talk about with this.
Okay. Here's where I'm at with this. Is a mess. Let's just call it what it is. It's a mess.
The portal opens tomorrow. That's why I want to talk about it tonight.
I had read something. I think it was earlier from On3. I can't remember. There are schools that are not contacting him and are waiting for his demands to go down before pursuing him. Okay? This is just a small piece of the puzzle. This is not just Tennessee. We had this with Jaden Rashada at Florida. It's unprofessionalism, Brad. This is not how do you say this? This is not a marketplace. It's agreements that aren't held by the school or whichever back and forth with each other. And with it, and there's a house settlement coming up, right? That will approve, that might help some of this. But to go to professionalism and with this, it's just out of control.
It'll be about draft position with Owe.
Draft position, yes. His dad has a lot to do with it, I think. And here's where, not all the blame is on Tennessee, okay? But you got to put some of the blame. On.
Differ with you on this one.
But I feel like what they did at the end, they done what they had to do, is say, you know what, you're wanting this much, such and such money, you're gone. It's almost surreal, Brad. Iamaleave has forced his way out of the program.
Look, it's unprecedented. I don't know in college sports that this has ever happened. I don't know that we've ever had a holdout and a cut where this has ever happened in college sports, basketball, football, you name it. I don't think this has ever happened before.
I think
not from a current player. Now, the Rashada thing happened, but Rashada wasn't at the school yet.
I think the family overplayed their hand here.
All right. Are you ready to let me kind of get started on this?
Well, yeah. I was just trying to
I got 3 points that I want to make on this, okay?
I just think that the NIL and the transfer portal has made this an absolute nightmare. I won't say this and I'll get it out. There was reports that he was urged to sit out of the Volunteers playoff game last year because his father was pushing for more money out of the school's NIL collective to play an extra game.
They were asking for more money during the season, before the season, in December, not just in January when the playoffs. There was a game in December that they wasn't sure that he was even going to play in. And not only that, when you're talking about that. There are also lots of reports from Tennessee people that Nico wouldn't even show up for autograph signings and things that are requirements for the NIL. Money. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right? But that's not so. I got 3 points. My first point is that this is Tennessee's fault. And I'm going to go to the Wayback Machine here 2.5 years ago when they were recruiting Nico Iamaleave, whatever his name is.
Iamaleave.
Iamaleave?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Nico,
Did I get it?
You got me tongue-tied now. Go ahead.
All right. When they were recruiting him out of high school, he signed an $8.8 million deal, and he was not even at the school yet. He was in high school, okay? The NCAA at that time had a rule in place that pay for play was illegal, and not only that it could not begin until they were actually enrolled at the school, at the college. The NCAA set out sanctions against Tennessee for signing Nico to an $8.8 million contract. Tennessee, in turn, fought the NCAA through the courts and won a battle that the NCAA did not have jurisdiction to do this. And in turn, Tennessee forced the NCAA's hand, and they had to send out a memo to every institution, every school, every college, that they no longer was going to be enforcing any NIL rules. The wild, wild west that we know of that's going on right now, the only reason why the whole pay for play began 2.5 years ago was because of Tennessee and Nico. That's the only reason why the whole damn thing began.
Well, and
now Tennessee is like, oh my God, I can't believe it. He's asking for more money. Oh shit, I can't believe it. Are you kidding me? You opened Pandora's box. You're the ones that opened the damn box.
Well, and let me say this before you get another word in. Players are now able to enter the portal if their demands are not being met by one team.
And you can do all this talking. There used to be tampering as well. Guess what? The NCAA sent out a memo that all of these rules of NIL were no longer in place because the United States court system ruled against the NCAA that they could enforce their rules. Do you know why that happened? Because of 2 teams, Tennessee and Virginia.
Yeah.
That filed a lawsuit against them. So guess what, John? It's kind of fitting that the same dude that they were paying money to says, okay, we got you to the playoffs last year. We want more money.
$4 million, to be exact.
Didn't you expect that when you fought for his ass the first time, when he had done nothing? Guess what? His stats were average last year.
I'm going to be honest with you, Brad. This is a slippery slope. If every player starts switching teams every single year, and they're not getting their compensation. They're not getting their NIL. They're not getting what they want.
College football. This deal that Nico signed was a 4-year, $8.8 million. It was $2.2 million a year.
At what point is college football in trouble? Okay. You look at overall team talent, okay? Winning a title, the chemistry of a team. When did that not – when can we get back to that? And
let me tell you how. I'll tell you. Wait a second. That's my third point. That's my third point. All right. That's my third point, and I'll get to it. I'll tell you exactly how it's going to happen. It won't happen, but exactly how it could happen. Okay? Right now is the time, because here's what's happening. My second point is this. This is not NIL. This is pay for play. That's what this is.
This is exactly what it is.
This is pay for play. This is not NIL. What they fought for before he ever played a game and was still in high school was pay for play. That's what the NCAA tried to put sanctions on Tennessee for, was pay for play. Okay? This is not NIL. This is not what NIL was intended for. This is not what, NIL is supposed to be name, image, and likeness, and you're supposed to show up and you're supposed to do signings, and you're supposed to do stuff for your sponsor and show up and greet fans and be a part of things and help promote and bring people in to showcases and different things that's going on. That's what NIL is. Selling T-shirts and hats and flags and that's what NIL is. This is pay for play. That's what this is. And I got to put that in there. That's what this is pay for play. Okay?
What it is.
Now, my third and final point on this is this. You want to know how we fix this shit? This right now. If every school in college football right now, especially the power conferences, okay? If every power conference will make an example out of Nico and his father, and when he puts his damn name in the portal tomorrow, if he gets 0 phone calls, 0, if he gets none, nada, zippo, Nico, nada, that's what he gets. If he gets 0 damn phone calls, this shit'll stop.
Yep, it will.
0, I'm telling you. He gets nothing, nada. You know where he needs to be? He needs to be coming to a visit to Western Kentucky University.
Well, and there's even NFL teams now.
He needs to go to Middle Tennessee State. That's where he needs to be.
That are questioning his draft prospects as well. Like NFL teams.
You got to make an example out of this kid, because I'm telling you right now, if there's one damn school that gives him a call and says, we got your $4 million, then all of this is for nothing. It's for nothing, because he gets what he demanded. And if he gets what he demanded, there will be kids and fathers lining up to do this same shit.
Yep.
All across the country.
You want to know what an NFL insider said? I read an article today. He said, turning down more money to stay tells something to teams versus making it about you and making yourself bigger than the team. Whether you like that or not, that is the reality.
Listen, NFL I don't know this kid. I don't know this father, John, and I'm not saying they are terrible human beings. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that this kid has to be more than Jaden Rashada. Do you know where Jaden Rashada is looking at right now? Who is the number 1 prospect I think the year after Nico or the year before, might have been the year before.
I think it's Western, isn't it?
He's right. He visited Western Kentucky University the other day. You know why? Because he signed a $14 million, $13.2 million deal with Florida. He went out and took a bunch of money from Arizona State. All this crap that went on with him, guess what? Nico and his father is doing the exact same thing. They are robbing this game. And I'm going to tell you right now, if he gets his demands, y'all can mark this down. I'm telling you, it won't be within 3 to 5 years. This game will never, ever be the same.
Well, and Nick Saban brought it up.
It'll ruin this game.
When he was leaving Alabama, he said players are concerned with a couple things, Brad: their value and how much money they're going to make. You know, it's really shocking.
This isn't NIL. This is not NIL. This is pay for play. And if the schools don't put a stop to this shit right now, I don't care. He can put his name in the portal 17 times tomorrow. I don't care. Let him put his name in the portal. There should not be not one power conference team offer him any money.
Let me tell you where it gets tricky.
Let him come up here and play for $100,000 at Western or $50,000 at Western.
At Middle Tennessee or some place like that.
Middle Tennessee State.
Here's where
Let him go to Furman. Let him go to Furman and play in the SoCal.
Here's where the problem lies, Brad. And it started with Tennessee and the whole Virginia thing. But the problem lies with the NCAA. It failed when they was
Chattanooga.
When they adjusted the portal and the NIL. They buried their head in the sand and kept a model that was, I don't know.
People think the NCAA was the issue here. It was not the NCAA. It was the court system that created
Tennessee helped create this void.
Absolutely. I said it at the beginning. That
when
was
the NCAA, they tried to enforce infractions, among others. Tennessee sued the NCAA. And then the NCAA just said, you know what? We're not going to do anything anymore.
And ironically, it was over Nico.
We're just going to let it go. And now it's just a wild, wild west. See, here's the thing. Players want to have their value, Brad. They want to have a leverage to maximize their potential. I get that. Players should want leverage, but they want it at full cost. They want no holds barred. They're going to have to be careful with all this, because you start doing this with big time schools, you're going to see it at the lower majors. You're going to see guys like Nico, Iamaleave. You're going to see them go to Western. You're going to see them go to Middle Tennessee, and they're going to play for half of what they were supposed to be paid for. And they're going to have to suck it up.
Listen, if you want this to stop, that's what has to happen. And I'm going to be honest with you. In the last few days, I seen Miami, Mario Cristobal. I seen him say that we can't let this happen. I seen Deion Sanders at Colorado say that he was not going to contact him. I'm talking about schools that you would think would be right at the doorstep and just waiting to pay this guy.
See, here's where I'm talking about the athletics department. You need a general manager, okay? Athletic directors can't be all. You got to have some kind of general manager. There's a few in college basketball where they oversee a bunch of stuff, like the program, the NIL, all that stuff.
Some of these programs are doing it now. Some of them
you're going to need that when it comes time for some of the valuations of some of these players, and what the player can do and the value, and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to go there. I'm going to tell you a story that I was told yesterday, and I'm not going to tell you who it was because when we're in the media, sometimes you got to be – because, me and you talk to people.
Yeah.
They said that a year ago, a player – it was in college basketball. It was a Power 5 coach. The kid was going on a visit. He was going into – I think he had 2 or 3 visits lined up, okay? And they set him down. Well, they toured him of the facility. And then they set him down. And he said to the coach, how much you going to pay me? And you know what the coach said? He said, get the hell out of here.
That's what he should have said.
That's what he said. He told me, because I was talking to a person in media, somebody that was close to, I think it was somewhere in, I can't remember. He covers somewhere in the Midwest. But that's besides the point. But he said that he went on 2 or 3 visits, and I think the player's in the NBA now. I can't remember, but he said that he walked into the office with his mom, and he sat down at the, I guess in the coach's office in the chair, and he said, "How much are you going to pay me, and what's it going to take to get my money?" And the coach looks at him and says, "Get the hell out of my office."
That's exactly what he should have said.
And told him, said, "We're done recruiting you right now."
If you're not concerned about the style of play, how you're going to play, what position, your teammates, the fan base, if you're not concerned about that crap, then you don't need to be at the school.
Well, I mean, it sort of goes back to Wilkerson. He basically chased a bag instead of playing for an opportunity to play for a national championship and play on a team that has some legit talent. Because listen, Brad, you're going into an unknown environment at Indiana. Don't get me wrong. DeVries is a really good coach. Don't get me wrong.
He is a good coach. And he's probably going to have a decent team. I'm not sure if he's going to be a top 10 team, but he'll have a decent team.
But at that level, with the players that he has, it's unproven. With Kentucky, at least you got some guys that
but you also have to look at his stock. Maybe he could average 18, 20 points a game. Maybe he could be second team, third team, all Big Ten. Maybe he could make a little bit of name for himself. Even if
Jerry,
they don't.
No doubt about it. He said, can you imagine how many times that happens now with the money brought up first and foremost before anything?
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, it happens. I talk to people every day. Said that players, they walk in and they just start asking how much money they're going to make.
It's called pay for play.
At some point,
this is pay for play.
And this was a really high-level Power 5 coach. Like,
I'm going to end this by saying what I said a minute ago. If we want this to stop, if these schools want this to stop, tomorrow, when Nico puts his name in the portal, not a single, 0 Power 4 conference teams with all that money should give him a call. None. Make him go and show up here to the Chattanooga Mocs or the Furman or Western Kentucky or Middle Tennessee State or somewhere of that nature. Because I guarantee you, if he goes to Middle Tennessee State, he's not touching $4 million.
It's party time, all right, Wireman. Brad's in his oats tonight. You missed a good portion of this.
I'm telling you right now, he's not touching $4 million from Western Kentucky University for football.
Not at all.
It ain't happening.
Maybe, what, 1K, 800K?
I mean, he's not touching $4 million. I can promise you that. If every Power Conference school says, nope, we're not paying you, we're not reaching your demands, and he has to wind up playing for $100,000 somewhere, guess what? The next father won't be doing this shit.
Well, and see, here's another thing, too. Don't get me wrong. Nico Iamaleave is a good player, Brad. He done some really good things for Tennessee.
He's got a lot of potential. His
got a lot
stats
of potential.
wasn't great.
Yes.
He does have
His
some
stats
potential.
were great. But here's the thing. You said he's asking for $4 million.
Exactly, Wireman. Exactly. If you want this shit to stop, that's how it stops right now. Right now is the time to get it to stop.
He's wanting $4 million, right, Brad? Right?
He can get $40 from Chattanooga.
But what I'm saying, you're saying he's wanting $4 million, like up front, right?
Yep.
It's not like we're talking about Patrick Mahomes here. Now, if this was Patrick Mahomes, I can understand.
Yeah,
I could get it a little bit. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, some of that nature. But we're talking about a kid that is coming off.
He was around 30th in the country, QBR and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
not the greatest, but he's got potential.
Average stats.
So I better get you off this, man.
Does he have some potential? The kid has potential, but I'm gonna tell you right now, he's got a damn hard ass lesson to learn. Just like Jaden Rashada.
I better get you off this topic, man.
Just like Jaden Rashada.
You're ready to blow up.
All right.
Man.
I will change because I got a topic here, guys, that is very, very sad. Very, very sad. Kyren Lacy on Saturday night, who was about 12 days away from the NFL draft and possibly changing his family's life. Not just his, but his family's life. His entire family could have changed in about 12 days.
Yeah.
And because of some very tragic circumstances that happened in December of last year.
Yeah, he was facing criminal charges involving a crash that killed him.
He committed suicide Saturday night, 12 days from the draft. And I want to go back. December, he declared for the draft. He played for LSU. He was one of their top receivers last year. He played 3 years at LSU, 2 years at Louisiana, and 3 years at LSU. In December, he was listed as a top 6 potential wide receiver in the NFL draft. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then 2 days later, there was a hit and run that happened, a crash that happened, and a 77, 78-year-old man.
Yeah, he was
in the hospital. Now, what didn't happen that night, okay, but a few days later in the hospital, a 77, 78-year-old man lost his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
Now, Kyren Lacy, apparently, and I'm saying apparently because I wasn't there, but apparently was driving the car. There was a car coming this way and a car coming that way, opposite lanes, and he went out and passed somebody and cut it real quick and was flying, according to the reports that I've heard. And the two cars like jerked and got scared, and they collided and hit each other. And Lacy went on, allegedly, okay? And the two cars collided, hit each other. The older man, a few days later, died.
Yeah, he passed him.
All right. In January 12th, Kyren Lacy turned himself in to police. Okay? This happened on January 12th. He turned himself in and was cooperating with the police. Mm-hmm. He got out on bond. In March, he had a pro day at LSU. Had a pro day, but I'm going to be honest with you, John, because of all the stuff that he was facing, his draft stock started to slip.
Started to flip, yeah.
His draft stock started to slip.
He had been battling more than just football pressure, right? You know, like you said, in December, he was involved in that fatal accident. He was speeding, illegally passing vehicles.
Yeah.
I think his court appearance was scheduled for today. Or no, yesterday.
It was yesterday. It was Monday. Yesterday. It was 2 days.
I think
his arraignment was Monday, and he done this Saturday night about midnight.
I think the looming case weighed heavily on him leading up to his death.
And I think he was probably getting a lot of feedback from NFL teams because the draft is coming up. And my guess, and this is just a strict guess, okay, but I'm guessing that he was not getting very good feedback from NFL teams.
That's where I'm guessing.
This is a guess, guys. So hang with me, and if I'm wrong, I will fully admit it. And I will say that I was just guessing, and I will apologize if his family or anybody else hears that and I am wrong. But my guess is that his draft stock was because a couple of the experts, ESPN, you know, Kuiper and all them that's doing the Sean guy, what's his name that does so in the mocks. He wasn't even on, you know, before Saturday, he wasn't even in like the top 2 days, the first 3 rounds or nothing. And like I said, he was a potential late first rounder in December. Okay. Yeah. So my guess is his draft stock through all of this troubles and everything, because he was facing some manslaughter and you know, driving, you know,
I'm guessing some of the charges,
deadly stuff, you know.
A lot of people had mentioned on social media, people around LSU, that he might have got 5 years at the most. It was sort of like the deal with what's the Alabama guy?
Henry
Ruggs.
Yeah.
Which I heard today he might be getting out in a year. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I want to say this real quick. His story is not defined by this final ending.
I just want to say this, man. It's so sad because, like,
I'm going to get emotional here.
If he would have gotten drafted, John, even if he could have been at 4th round or 5th round or 6th round or whatever, he could have still possibly changed his family's life. He didn't know exactly the way this court date was going to go and everything, you know. I mean,
well, you know, too, Brad, a lot of these NCAA, NFL, there's many over the course of time.
People's opinions about people over stuff like this is just god awful.
That have tried to build some mental health services, have support systems, you know, counseling to help navigate some of this stuff. I'll give you an example. DeMar DeRozan. He was one that opened up quite a bit about his struggles. Haley Van Lith is another one. I'm going to say that
this is a little bit more than mental health, because he was facing what he was facing may have caused some mental health issues.
What I'm saying,
it was really because of the pressure of what he was facing.
Yeah. But that's where I kind of take this point, whether it's mental health. We ought to treat mental health in the same lines as physical health.
And that's where I want to go, man. If you're in a situation like this is not just about Kyren Lacy. He's gone now, and it's so sad. But
it's really sad.
If you're in a situation like this, man, you got family, you got parents. This is a 23-year-old kid. I mean, you got parents, you got grandparents, you got probably brothers and sisters who have been counting on you. You know, everybody thought their life was going to change. And yes, some very tragic stuff happened. You know, he pulled out to pass somebody. He's a young kid. He's probably in a fast car, and things happen. I'm going to tell you, I've had some things happen to me in my life. things happen sometimes. Okay, it's not the end of life if you don't let it be. Life goes on. You can
Overcome anything.
You can overcome things. You can build other things. You can, like, please, if you're in a situation like this,
reach out to
somebody and find some help.
Yeah, it's available. I want to bring up this real quick before we move on. Kyren Lacy's dad, it's not the longest, but he brought it up. He said, young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you. Don't be cool with I'm all right or I'm good when you know deep down something isn't right. And then he went on to say, mental health is real and for the most part it's invisible. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small. Our lives have been changed forever and this will never be okay. But God needed my baby more than he needed me here. Folks, if that don't touch you in some kind of way, that a parent is grieving for his child.
I am a parent, so it definitely hits me.
People struggle. People go through things. I'm going to tell this real quick, and we'll kind of move off the subject because it's a touchy subject, Brad.
It is.
I was going through some things 3 years ago. Not going to get into all the personal stuff. That's for me. I tell Brad about a lot of this stuff. I confide in Brad quite a bit. But I was going through some things 2 to 3 years ago that I was struggling with that I couldn't get out. I felt like I was in a box. I was kind of like in this room and there was no doors. And I just felt like there was water inside the door and it was just overflowing with guilt, shame, and in that guilt and shame, I hurt a lot of people. I said things to people that I shouldn't have said. I hurt people that I shouldn't have hurt. I've said things that I regret 2, 3 years ago, 4, that a lot of people bring back to my memory because that's all they see is the past. But there is a hope. There is future, and there can be change. There's things available to you. There's mental health advocates. There's mental health. There's support systems. There's counseling. There's different things, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm in counseling. I go to counseling once a week for the things that happened 2, 3 years ago, and it helps me to know that somebody cares and somebody loves me enough to know that I'm worth something. And
that's what I say, man. Please,
and maybe Kyren Lacy
and find some help because it's out there.
And maybe Kyren Lacy felt like we don't know what he felt like, Brad, to be honest. But
no,
maybe he felt.
And I don't know these people, okay? I don't know their family history. I don't know. I don't know these people, okay?
But I will say this:
it hit me, and it's just sad. I mean,
but I will say this:
12 days away from the NFL draft.
I'll say this to the family. I just want to share my deepest sympathies with this family and the hurt that they feel. We hurt with you, and I can't
even imagine. Like I can't. I'm a father. I can't even imagine.
And the thing that really bothers me, Brad, is on social media. Why are you celebrating a criminal? Why are you celebrating a guy that did all these things? People have a past.
It's not just a past, man. I mean, listen.
People do dumb stuff.
This guy was a kid, and he made a mistake. He made a mistake.
He did. And people are judging him for it.
Guess what?
And I'm going to tell you this.
Has made a mistake too.
I'm going to tell you this.
If that's you, if you're the one saying that, I promise you, your ass has made a mistake too.
And I'm going to say this, and we'll move on. We talk a lot about being loving and kind and caring. And what happens this week, Brad? It's the resurrection of Jesus, right?
Yeah.
We talk about being there for people and loving people, and yet he done the same for us, but yet we can't go out and do the same for them. I'll let that stick in you.
This made a mistake.
He did. So,
and unfortunately, it cost the guy's life.
It cost his life, unfortunately, yes.
And you know, I got to say, that guy was a 77, 78-year-old man, but I do not know if he had a wife. I don't know if they had kids. I don't know if he had grandkids. He might have had great-grandkids.
Well, you know,
I don't know.
And on the other side of the spectrum, I hurt for that family as well. That family's hurting as well.
Exactly.
You could have, a father, a grandfather, somebody that was close to their
great-grandfather. I mean, who knows?
You know,
So it's a sad, sad story, sad circumstances, and I just wanted to touch on it here at College SportsCast.
So are you wanting to bring up the big news, or you want to kind of let it?
We can. The portal opens tomorrow.
We'll do that at the end.
Yeah, the portal opens tomorrow. I just want to hit on a couple of things here. We have talked about the portal because I talked about Nico hitting the portal, but the football portal opens tomorrow. The spring portal is only open for like 14 days, from the 16th through the 30th.
I think Kentucky had, was it two?
Two. I've seen two.
I've seen
Gilbert
two so far. And then there was another.
One was a defensive lineman and one was an offensive lineman.
Yeah, there was another one today. I expect, and from what Stoops said, he expects to add some people in the portal, some commits. So
it's open for the I think it's 14 or 15 days. It's the 16th through the 30th, I believe.
And I'm sure,
the spring portal is.
And I'm sure I'll be writing about it. I'm covering Kentucky football as well. Brad is doing Kentucky football as well. With the women, he just don't do the men's part of it yet, because he's been focused morely on women. So, I want to bring up something that I feel like needs to be shared. You know, we've had a lot of guests on this show, Brad. We've had a lot of awesome people come on this show. We've had Peter Burns, the guy from The Athletic.
Daniel Shirley.
Times. We've had
Chris Marley. Chris Marley was on here.
Yeah, we had the Auburn baseball coach.
Yeah.
And we've kind of been reaching out, trying to kind of put out feelers for some people to kind of jumpstart and help with this. Unfortunately, Jason is still part of us. John's still part of us some. They're just not as active as they have been. Jason coaches basketball in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And there's a lot going on with Jason. I love Jason. Jason's an awesome dude.
He just don't have a lot of time.
He just don't have a lot of time. And John is going through some different things, and just leave it at that. He's covering baseball, Auburn baseball, which are having a heck of a season. They just swept LSU this past weekend. I bet he's on cloud nine.
I'm sure he is.
But I want to say this: we've looked around and we've tried to find somebody to kind of jumpstart the show with us. On, I guess it would be just Tuesday nights. For now. Yeah. I reached out to a former SEC basketball player. I'm sure everybody knows who it is. He played for Georgia from 2013 to 17. Mm-hmm. He was first team All SEC. I think the second year he was second team, third team?
Something in 16, I think 16 or something.
He had a big game against Kentucky at one point. He had a big game in the SEC tournament against South Carolina.
He played against guys like Malik Monk, Fox,
Bam, those guys.
Yeah. He also played against the 15 team. He was on the team in the 15 team.
Yeah, he was on the team that played, I think, Kentucky in the SEC tournament. But I don't know the logistics behind it. I don't know what's going to happen.
He's also playing ball overseas.
He's playing ball overseas.
He's playing professional ball. He's still playing ball
overseas.
He's playing in Europe.
I think it's Europe. I'm not for sure, but it's overseas somewhere. And we talked last night, and he told me that he was going to text me when he got off the plane. He has yet to do that, which that's probably a 6 to 8 hour flight, most likely.
Yeah.
But it's JJ Frazier is who it is.
Yeah.
But
we're working on it, and we'll see if we can get him. He seems to be excited.
Oh, he's pumped. He told me yesterday we was laughing and cutting up on the phone, and he said it's going to be kind of weird being on the camera because I'm not used to doing that kind of thing. I've been away from the camera for a while. I said, well, you'll get used to it after a while. I mean, it's something that comes kind of natural.
But he seems to be excited. We're excited about the possibilities.
Yeah.
And we don't know exactly when just yet. Like I said, he's been playing professional ball. I think he's still going to be doing that. So we got to work some stuff out.
Yeah, and I think he's flying in tonight. I think he's supposed to land this evening sometime in the States. So big thing for us. And we're going to continue to grind and do what we do.
It is. So I want to end the show with the announcement of the SEC Football Media Days today. The dates, times, schedules come out today. It is July 14th through the 17th. There's 4 coaches each day. There's 4 on the 14th, 4 on the 15th, 4 on the 16th, and 4 on the 17th. I do know that Coach Stoops is on the 17th.
I got it up right here.
All right. And it's happening in Atlanta. And I just want you guys to know we will attempt. I don't know that we'll get to go
to attend,
but we will attempt to get credentialed media to go to Atlanta this year.
Here's the media day schedule. I got it right in front of me.
All right.
Monday, July 14th is LSU Brian Kelly, Ole Miss Lane Kiffin, South Carolina Shane Beamer, and Vanderbilt Clark Lee. Tuesday, July 15th is Hugh Freeze from Auburn, Georgia Kirby Smart, Tennessee Josh Heupel, and Texas Steve Sarkisian. Wednesday is Alabama Kalen DeBoer, Florida Billy Napier, Mississippi State Jeff Libby, Oklahoma Brent Venables. And then Thursday rounds it out with Arkansas and Sam Pittman, Kentucky Mark Stoops, Missouri Eli Drinkwitz, and Texas A&M Mike Elko. And I'm telling you, Brad, football, it's April 15th.
Yep.
Football is on the rise.
That's 3 months away, guys. It's the 14th through the 17th in July. That's 3 months away.
I'm excited for football season.
Whether or not we get to go or not, just letting you guys know, we will be doing some special shows that week, the 14th through the 17th. We've done this every year. We will do some special SEC football media shows talking about each team, talking about what they talk about, their teams, their players, the outlook for each SEC team that day. Those 4 teams on Monday, 4 teams on Tuesday, and the coaches.
One of those coaches, you said that he might not have a job last season, and he might have one of the best teams coming in is Billy Napier.
Yeah, he saved his job last year.
That's
is. Yeah,
and I was going to say this real quick before we go. I'm so excited for college football. I'm so appreciative of what Mark Pope has done with the portal, but I'm over the portal and the insiders.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for basketball to start. Like, get out of this, whatever this is, this bubble thing where everybody's got some kind of source.
Now we got a little bit of spring football portal stuff.
Well, and then we got the NBA playoffs, I think, kicked off tonight, the play-in.
They did. The play-ins did.
So,
all right, guys, it's been a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did hit a few hard topics here. We even talked about one that was very touchy, and we don't do that a lot here at College SportsCast. But I felt it was a really big need to.
Oh, and by the way,
to talk about seeking help if you need.
I sent JJ this, but hopefully he'll get this. Get your butt on the show, JJ. Come join us, man.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Have a good one.
Can I please have your attention? There's all a commotion around here.
What are you talking about?
Let them yap at you.
It's actually very exciting.